And the first thing I'll read is about Kerouac. Jean-Louis Kerouac, fils. That was his birth name. He wrote on the road first in Joual, which is the cheval, it means in French, it's the dialect that he spoke as a child when he was speaking to his mother when he died, and then decided to write in English. Daybreak with Jean-Louis Kerouac. Never expected Jack to show. I'm eating supper with Gregory Corso in a lonely blue Italian joint in New Haven. He's coming up alone to read his poems at Wesleyan. Bragging about Jack, Greg gets mournful, as if Kerouac had spun off the planet. I say, look, Jack's not a corpse, he's alive, knocking it out. What kind of shit? Corso, the straight pin of the gang, let me have it. Ginsberg sleeps with everyone. Alan, poor Alan, he's just a whore. I'm the only straight dude who's ever slept with Jack O'Lantern. We're tight. Corso's proud of being Top Gun with Kerouac. Jack stinks out loud with whiskey, but off booze, he's really low-key, gentle. He's a timid man. On the weekend, Greg shows. He's come up from the city with a tired, wobbling bum, wearing a black, ratty raincoat, hugging his ankles, a black fedora, and shades. Hey, that's Kerouac! You gotta be kidding. Drunk as a hog, his feet made of cotton, Jack's smiling a lot. I ferry him to Olin Library and present him to Professor Green, expert in Christmas carols. Jack asks Green, what are you teaching, sir? Shakespeare, replies the patrician teacher. Do you like Shakespeare, says Jack. I love Shakespeare, states the professor. Overjoyed, Jack shouts, I love Shakespeare too, and he grabs his new friend's cheeks and slaps a wild kiss on his lips. I've read your book, says Green. I like 'em. Where can I take you? The scholars skip off. In the evening, Corso stuns me. Are those tramps going to beat me up? You're crazy. But Corso won't read his poems. He raves about his hero, William Burroughs, whispers a chapter from Naked Lunch, and we're transported to jungle rapture and shots of heroin Burroughs sticks in the ass of a Brazilian boy. After a discourse on love, Greg and the gang of pals Jack came up with from New York jam into a side room, and Jack is sober and describes his dawn climb up Mount Tamalpais, north of the Golden Gate. Jack is impassioned. I climbed Tamalpais. I got to the top and beheld daybreak. I saw Satori. You saw bullshit, Corso throws in. I saw bullshit, Jack confesses. He surrenders. A buddy knows I'm nuts about everything Greek and puts on an LP of Hasapiko from Asia Minor dens. Jack tells me, let's dance. We squat, arms locked, and we're doing the butcher's dance, strict and low until Zen daybreak. Pure nostalgia. I remember we had a dance that Jack comes up to me, puts his hand, oh, you haven't shaved today. He says, you're just dancing with America's outstanding pornographic novelist. I said, thanks, Jack. In our life watch, you'll see it's from the point of view at the beginning of a young boy In our life watch, we are down to 5 or 6 Pierre Grange watches, a jeweler's box of soft, swift straps, and a few precious stones we are selling off to pay the Greystone hotel bill and meals. Dad and I leave early each morning on our round in the labyrinths of narrow jewelry stores downtown. How will we eat after our loot is gone? No worry, some way. I love the summer in New York, best in my life. Not Camp Moden in Maine with its daybreak lake and canoe trips, but real city watch shops with grown-up men we waylay and haggle with. On Sunday, we prowl Coney Island or the World's Fair. Dad was 12 when he left home and school. I'll soon be 12, and I've got my father as my closest pal. We celebrate each sale, each trade. One afternoon with a twinkle, he slaps down $300 for a diamond, most of what we have to live on. Next day, sells it for $1,000. He finds the way. Things get so good, we spend Sundays watching Gehrig and DiMaggio knocking leather into the bleachers, or Pee Wee Reese catching the impossible. We miss the series, when Dad goes west, but I grab wartime trains to meet him on our swinging life watch through Red Mountain states and Mexico adventures. In Mexico City, he marries a child bride, and I'm living with Spanish children from the Civil War in a Bardin orphanage, where I share a room on the roof. Then too soon, Dad and I talk all night in our New York hotel. Lying on narrow beds, we conjure up Rembrandt's beggar in baggy nobleman's dress, how the Swedish angel wrestler hugs a foe till he drops inert, then the hill of debts. Am I father tonight? In the morning I leave for Maine, he's on a plane to Mexico, where he must pawn his soul for silver. No luck. He flies to Colorado, plays a last card at a Denver bank, loses. Van Gogh's face against the wall, he climbs high to the roof, where he folds his coat, places it on a stone bench near the ledge, his hat on top. He steps over the low railing, leaps and floats in blind sorrow out into May sun. Dad's fallen again, but we can't wake early and look up a small jewelry shop to peddle our wares and hearts, our soft swift straps or cold diamond, since death at last has cleaned us out. Now, I'm trying to read as quickly as I can because there are many, but I thought I should read another quick New York poem and then a few lines from Apocalypse Revelation. Ice Picks on 93rd Street. This just came out a few days ago, October 1st. I'm wandering like a sailor on the drive. Elliot told me Life had an article on how babies are born with pictures of women. I don't suppose I'll see Life, but oh, it's great to think about them slowly. Women. Between their legs is what I see. Suddenly, 3 ice picks are against my ribs. It's the Price Gang, brothers. They've been to reformatory. I have a nickel but jam it into the lining, and when they search me, they get nothing. But I'm like stone, unbreathing, so scared I feel like a pickle with their spikes inside. When the Price Gang is gone, all those blonde heads and pug noses seem alike. The Irish toughs from Amsterdam. I don't hate them. I thought they'd be worse. Empty your pockets or will stick you. I didn't think they would, but I can't walk there for weeks, as if the brothers are always there, waiting to knife me for cash. Elliot said the girls uptown let you touch their hair or get in their bed if you have money. Now I'm cocky. I've been held up with ice picks against a dark wall. Maybe, like the sailors, I'll kiss a girl. New Directions book, Revelation. I translated it from the Greek for a larger book called the Restored New Testament, which I translated from the Greek. And it's Sarah Palin is in it. She is, honestly, she is. She's one of the dark horsemen of the apocalypse. She kills and kills. She's got her weapons. See if you can pick it up. I don't want to footnote it, but it's pretty late. Well, she's a very biblical, interested religious woman. So. And I saw the Lamb open one of the seals. And I heard one of the 4 animals saying in a voice that seemed like thunder, "Come." And I saw, and look, a white horse, and its rider had a bow, and was given a crown. And he went out conquering and to conquer. By the way, it's an obscure text, and it got into the New Testament because of that. They didn't know what was going on. But that and the Song of Songs are the 2 great books of poetry in the whole Bible, New and Old Testaments. It is full of the most magnificent imagery one can imagine. Everybody's learned from it. And when the Lamb opened the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd animal saying, "Come." Another horse of fire red came out. Its rider was ordered to take peace away from earth so men might kill each other, and he was given a great sword. And when the Lamb opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd animal saying, "Come." And I saw, and look, a black horse, and its rider held a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard what seemed to be a voice in the midst of the 4 animals saying, "A measure of wheat for a denarius, and 3 measures of barley for a denarius, and do not damage the olive oil with wine." And when the Lamb opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th animal saying, "Come." And I saw, and look, a pale and green horse, and the name of his rider was Death, and hell was following him. Power was given them over a quarter of the globe to kill by sword, and by hunger, and by death, and by the wild beasts of the earth. And when the Lamb opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who were slaughtered for the word of God and the testimony which they held. And they cried out in a great voice, saying, "How long, O absolute ruler, holy and true, will you wait to judge and avenge our blood from those who live upon the earth?" They were each given a white robe and told to rest a little time until the number was reached of their fellow slaves, brothers and sisters, who are to be killed as they were killed. When the Lamb opened the 6th seal, I looked, and there took place a great earthquake, and the sun became black like sackcloth of hair, and the full moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell to the earth, as the fig tree drops its unripe fruit, shaken by a great wind. And the sky vanished like a scroll, rolling up. Every mountain and island of the earth was torn up from its place and moved. And the kings of the earth, and the great men and commanders of thousands, and every slave, and the free, hid in caves and mountain rocks, and said to the mountains and rocks, "Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him who is sitting on the throne, and from the anger of the Lamb, because the great day of his anger has come, and before him who has the force